The 5 Yorkshire Terriers you are watching are valued members of my family. I have had pets all my life, and I've been actively involved in dog fancy for the past 8 years. All of the dogs are males and range in age from 1 to 9 years old. The 3 older dogs are all retired show dogs. Dusty is an American champion, owner handled to his title. All were formerly obedience trained. The 2 younger dogs are presently being shown in breed conformation. I began this project with an ambitious goal. I wanted to inform potential dog buyers of the responsibility of pet ownership. Unfortunately, most of us become pet owners without any training, formal or otherwise. We usually leave the development of our pets much to chance. We sometimes forget that a dog is a social animal and so much wants to be a part of our human family. Most people do their best to attend to the dog's basic needs, feeding, regular visits to the veterinarian for inoculations and the like, but fail to realize that we must serve the dog's psychological needs as well as his physical needs. I have learned a lot since my involvement in dog fancy from many experienced and concerned breeders who have shared their knowledge with me. I spend many hours attending classes, veterinary seminars, and symposiums, and I constantly keep myself informed by reading. Most important, I've taken all of the valuable information and have applied it to the everyday rearing of my dogs. I regard my dogs as my friends. I adore them and have enormous respect for them. Having a dog is a long-lasting commitment to provide care for the life of the animal. We as their owners have a moral obligation to our dogs, to love them, protect them, and never to exploit them. We are obliged to take them seriously. They are not objects that we possess, but living creatures that deserve a rightful place in society, a right to live happy and healthy lives with their owners, and to be able to coexist with a non-dog society. I am well rewarded for the time that I devote to them. They give me unquestioning devotion and faithful companionship. They provide hours of joy. I have learned so much from them, from living with them, observing them, and interacting with them. They have enriched my life in so many ways. They are highly intelligent and sensitive beings. Busy schedules and the hectic pace of my daily life sometimes prevent me from spending as much time as I would like with them. But I make compromises and always allow quality time to give them the attention and proper training that they deserve. When we welcome a dog into our human pack, he becomes dependent upon us and looks at us as his leader. It is our responsibility to teach our dogs to become good citizens. We must train them with understanding, patience, firmness, and most of all, praise. A dog's greatest desire and happiness is to please his master. The problems caused by irresponsible dog owners have affected both man and dog. Millions of dogs are needlessly destroyed every year. Many communities are instituting severe restrictions on dog ownership. Although the restrictive laws are aimed at irresponsible people, the rights of all dog owners are affected. We must be responsible for the proper training of our dogs. Obedience training to assure acceptable behavior is a must for every dog and every owner.
Stay. If you have to, you hold him just like this. Make him succeed. He gets no more food. He's puffing up because he wants the food. So he's trained you to keep feeding him. All right, back to your puppies. Good boy. That was wonderful, Jake. There it is. Now you get your food. You have to teach him that he goes down and he stays there, even though you're helping him.
It's an exciting time to be involved with dogs. Although dog has been involved with man since the beginning of recorded time, now more than ever, the dog plays a very important role in society. In an ever-growing impersonal world, the personal relationship with the dog is of significant importance. Recent studies have proven the many benefits to the health and well-being of people. Heart attack victims and stroke victims have a more rapid recovery. Blood pressure can be lowered. The elderly, the sick, and the disabled benefit from the companionship of a dog. Laws have been passed that allow dogs in nursing homes, hospitals, and daycare centers. Service dogs are the eyes, the ears, and the hands to many. Therapy dogs and pet-assisted programs are no longer a thing of the past. The Delta Society, an international organization dedicated to service, research, and public education concerning the human-animal bond, is proof of the importance of man's relationship with animals and the environment. There are presently many groups working for the benefit of all animals, further proof of the importance of animals in our society. I strongly suggest that before you buy a dog, you should decide which breed best fits your personality and your lifestyle. Many breeds require a lot of grooming, and many need a lot of room to run. Go to dog shows, talk to the breeders, call the Dog Federation in your area, and most of all, become informed. There are many fine books that are available on the subject of selecting a dog that is right for you. You are about to observe a typical day in the life of my dogs. It is not intended to give specific instructions on every aspect of dog rearing, but rather as a general guide. At the completion of this tape, I provide a list of suggested reading on just about every topic that you as a pet person would find interesting and informative. I have also included the books in my library that have been a tremendous help to me. As you watch, be aware of what your responsibilities would be. Regardless of how strong your desire is to have a dog, be aware that time, energy, and a lot of patience is required. I hope what you observe will be helpful and informative. I hope it serves as a useful guide and answers some questions that you may have. Perhaps it can help you decide if you are ready to invest the time and meet the challenge of becoming a responsible pet person. The day begins early in our household, usually about 6 a.m. The dogs sleep in our bedroom. Dusty and RJ sleep in bed with us, and the 3 others sleep in their pens. They love their soft beanbag pillows. I carry them out to their deck so that there is no chance for detours or accidents. If you are attentive to their needs, you can help avoid accidents in the house. Their outside area is safe and always kept clean. If you live in an apartment, or if you do not have a safe area for the dog, then be prepared to put on your walking shoes for your morning exercise. Always walk your dog on a lead, and be sure to respect your neighbor's property by picking up after your dog. A plastic bag serves nicely for small dogs, or a pooper scooper is available at most pet supply stores. When I bring all of the dogs inside, I check them to be sure that they won't be dragging dirty rears across the floor. I always clean the deck area to avoid unpleasant odors and bacteria. I use a product called Quatricide. Housebreaking requires consistent and repetitious work and lots of patience on your part. You should begin to housebreak as soon as you take your new pet. There are many excellent books on the subject, and I urge you to read one. I trained my dogs the Barbara Woodhouse method. Outside or on paper, the words "hurry up" and lots of praise. It really works. Until the dog is completely housebroken, keep him on a tiled surface. If he does have an accident, all you have to do is simply wipe up and no damage has been done. I ready their room for the day. I open the blinds for the sunlight to stream in, turn on the radio for music, give them lots of safe toys to play with, and we're on our way to a pleasant day. Everybody gets a hug, a pat on the head, a few kind words, and a toss of their favorite toy. It's amazing how just a few minutes can make them so happy. Make sure the dogs always have a bowl of fresh water. I like stainless steel bowls. They are sanitary and dishwasher safe. You also don't have to worry about the dog chewing up his bowl. One of the highlights of the day is now. You guessed it, meal time. I feed the dogs twice a day for better digestibility. First, everyone gets a multiple vitamin. I feed the dogs a specialty all-natural food that provides a very balanced diet. The older dogs get a senior diet that is lower in protein and has no salt or sugar. The younger dogs are getting a puppy food. I add a little cheese or chicken to flavor it. I put the food down and leave it for about 15 minutes. If the food is not eaten, I pick it up. The dogs will get another chance later in the day. Each dog has his own place to eat, and the bowl is always put down in the same place each time. You can talk to your veterinarian or breeder about how to feed a balanced diet to your dog. I talk to my dogs a lot. Whenever I leave them, I say a few words and give them a pat. It keeps them happy and content for a while. They never feel isolated or unloved.
You're so silly. You're so silly.
If you are wondering why they're never all together, having 5 males, especially terriers, is a somewhat unique situation. I guess you can say it's defying nature. On occasion, they want to determine who is top dog. I separate those that don't get along to guarantee that a fight won't break out. Pet people that have 1 or 2 dogs won't experience the same problems that I have. Gates have become one of the most valuable tools in my house. Mine are built in, but an inexpensive baby gate is very adequate and can be purchased in any hardware store or pet supply store. It also assures that your dog will not go in any area where he doesn't belong. It provides safety because the dog won't always be under your feet and cannot run out if you have to open a door. The dogs can see me and what is going on, so they are content. When shopping to purchase a gate, buy only expandable tension gates that can affix to a door frame or a wall. Never buy an accordion gate. It can collapse and the dog can get his head caught. Remember, safety is a must. It's very important to pet-proof the house, especially for puppies. They are very curious and seem to find what you could never find. Their curiosity can get them into trouble that can be a danger to them and a disaster to your house. Be careful about electrical cords that can be chewed or pulled, electrical outlets, poisonous plants, and just about anything that the dogs can pull down, spill, or put in their mouth. What appears to be a simple accident can result in a very sick or even a dead dog. Since we are on the subject of safety, I'll comment on pens and crates. I put the dogs in pens when I have to leave the house. It is for their safety and my sanity. It is a clean, quiet place all their own and a perfect place for them to rest. I never misuse the pens by leaving the dogs for hours and hours. I seldom leave them for more than 4 hours. I feel confident that they are comfortable, safe, and out of trouble. They always look forward to going in the pen because I always make it a pleasant experience for them. They have their favorite toy, bowl of fresh water, and a clean, soft pillow. I give them a treat, a pat on the head, and tell them I'll be back soon and that they are wonderful boys. When I return home, I greet them cheerfully, praise them for being good boys, and put them outside to exercise. Crates are wonderful for training a dog. You can refer to numerous books on the subject. In the house, I leave the doors to the crates open and the dogs climb in at will. The crate serves as their own private den. However, I use them primarily for travel. I know that the dog is comfortable and safe and that I can concentrate on driving the car. Traveling to public places is a real treat for your canine friend. It is wonderful socialization for him, and a well-trained dog is a pride and a pleasure for you. If you are taking your dog for a ride in the car, be extremely careful on a warm day. The temperature in a parked car can reach 160 degrees in a couple of minutes, even with the windows partially open. If the dog has only hot air to breathe, he can very quickly suffer from heat stroke. Never leave the dog in a parked car. It can be a deadly mistake. On a very warm day, your dog is much safer left at home. After the dogs are fed, they go out on the deck if weather permits. They love to run around and get the fresh air and sunshine. Don't leave the dogs out for too long if the weather is too cold, and be sure that they have a cool, shady spot to get out of the sun if it is a warm day. I leave a bowl of cool, fresh water outside for them on a warm summer day, and I check on them at regular intervals to be sure that they are fine. After they are exercised, they are comfortable and content to spend some time without me. It gives me some time to attend to my morning chores. Grooming is another important part of the day. The dogs are groomed each day in a designated place. A grooming table or a tabletop or bench is suitable for small dogs. Be sure to put a rubber bath mat or sink mat down so that the surface is not slippery. A large dog can be groomed on the floor. The dogs love the individual time and attention. If you begin to brush the dog on a daily basis at a very young age, he will soon learn what is expected and will actually look forward to his special time with you. I clean the dog's eyes with a cotton ball and warm water. I check their ears and their mouth. I also check their paws and skin for fleas, ticks, or any skin abrasions. If I do see anything unusual, I can attend to it quickly. If it is something that needs veterinary attention, I can take the dog before he becomes very uncomfortable and before a minor problem becomes a serious problem. scratched the cornea of his eye a few months ago, but with prompt and proper attention, he was as good as new in just 2 days. One morning, when I brought him in from the deck, I noticed that he was rubbing his eye. A tiny twig had fallen from a tree, and he, being a curious little puppy, had found it and was playing with it. When I checked the eye, I noticed how red it was and took him immediately to the veterinarian, thus avoiding any serious complication. Once a week I bathe the dogs, wipe their teeth with a gauze pad and an oral cleansing solution, cut their nails, and trim their ears and paws. Check with breeders in your area to determine what shampoos and conditioners are best for your breed. If you are unsure as to what to use, I recommend a mild baby shampoo and conditioner. A brush, a comb, nail clippers, and scissors are your basic supplies for grooming. Nero is 9 years old and is the oldest of my canine family. He is a real joy and a very special guy. Most people buy puppies, but many choose to buy an older dog. A few years ago, I bought this dog, who was then 4 years old. He was a beautiful show dog who had gone from pillar to post and was really starved for a warm, loving home. The dog was fortunate to get a second chance. It took a good year to restore his confidence, but it was well worth every minute. I took him to obedience classes, and we gave him extra tender, loving care to build his security and self-esteem. He soon knew that he was a very important member of our family and that we loved him very much. I make every day fun for my dogs. They have a very special way of making it fun for me. I don't consider what I do for them a chore, but rather as something that I would do for a family member. As a new pet person, remember that having a dog is like having a baby. Each has his own personality, and each is very special in his own way. I try to plan my day to be with the dogs as much as possible. Dogs learn by consistent and repetitious training. We as humans have to be educated in training the correct way. Proper training assures that our pets are a pleasure and not a nuisance or a burden. If the dog does something that does not meet with your approval, discipline is a must. Correct him with a firm no. Dogs are highly intelligent. They learn quickly and they want very much to please us. If you teach them with patience and understanding and let them know what you expect of them, you will be amazed at their behavior. They can read our body language and they respond to the tone of our voice. First say the dog's name and then make eye contact with him to get his attention. You must let him know that you are in charge. I find that if the attention I give to them is naturally integrated into my daily schedule, they are never bored and they don't get into trouble. I do my best to keep life interesting for them and thereby prevent inappropriate behavior. I always remind them that they are important members of my family. They are never locked away and never made to feel unwanted. They all love being my little helpers throughout the day. When you have just one dog and you have taken the proper steps to train him, he can be your faithful companion. If you are busy, he will be content to lie quietly at your side. When guests come to the house, all the dogs greet them with kisses and wagging tails. Because they have been trained to be well-behaved little gentlemen, they settle down in a few minutes and are never a nuisance. Now that everyone has been fed, exercised, and groomed, and is comfortable and content, they are fine to spend some time without me. I can now leave for a few hours to attend to my personal time and can leave them to theirs. A kiss goodbye, a pat on the head, and I'll be back soon works just fine. Remember, repetition and consistency. They are confident that I will return shortly. Dinner time rolls around about 4:30 p.m. and we repeat the morning's performance. Eat, outside to exercise, and in for a rest. The dogs are fed and content, and it allows me time with my husband for dinner without interruptions. Each evening, each dog gets at least 15 minutes of play training. Playtime is a must. It provides socialization, exercise, training, and individual attention. Everybody gets a dog biscuit or a carrot strip, a cold drink of water, outside again, and then to bed. They love to run up the hall to go nighty-night. Each dog knows where he belongs, and each feels so smart and so important. Everyone has had a very busy day. And so ends another day in the life of a happy dog.